Welcome back, everyone. You just listened to 4 tracks off Suburban Zombie's newest EP, Where the Sun Doesn't Touch. And those songs were Bonefish, Blank Walls, Everyone Hates Chris, and My Dreams Are Still Dreams. We're now going to talk with 3 of the members for a bit. Then we'll finish with the Artist Spotlight, with them playing the last 2 songs off of that EP. So let's begin. Just introduce yourselves. And tell the audience where you guys are from.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the guitarist and backup vocals.
I'm Nate. I'm lead vocals.
I'm Andrew, or Sugar. I play bass.
And we are from Lake Grove.
Okay. So we're going to start off with like your bio, where you're from. And I liked how I went on Facebook, looked at your bio, then this is how it went if no one ever read it or took time to. It says, Dan one day sacrificed all what little friends he had to the Dark Lord in order to summon some undead friends known as Andrew, aka Sugar, Nate, Dan Block, and Brian, aka Butters, in that order to form a band and rule the world. From this I determined, that's where you got the name from. And first, I just want to know, what was the inspiration behind that?
I kind of wrote that. It was 2 a.m. We had just formed. I was feeling, I don't know. It's all of a sudden an old scene phase just came back, and I don't know.
As for the name, it's a reference to a character from the game Earthbound, the urban zombie, which is an enemy, and then Suburban makes it more pop punk, so Suburban Zombie.
Yeah,
hometown Suburban. Okay, I see where you're going. So, what's the real story of the band? How it formed?
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was in a band previously called New Homestead. We didn't really play many shows out or whatever. We played a lot of parties, and eventually I wanted to start something more serious. So I got Andrew. He lives down the road from me. Nate was in my previous band. He was the singer. We got him. Brian we found because I used to be in another band with him, but that was years ago. And Dan Block was interesting.
Can I tell the story?
Yeah, you can tell the story.
All right. So I went to Bayside's 15th anniversary tour, which was at the PlayStation Theater, which is in the city. And I was just standing around, and we were I was like, hey, I should look for band members. So I turned to the guy next to me, and I'm like, hey, you don't happen to play drums, do you? And he's like, I play a little bit, but I'm not really great. So I was like, okay, do you want to form a band? And he was like, sure, I guess so. I live in Lake Grove. And I was like, wait, I live in Lake Grove too. Oh my God. And yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so before we start talking about the EP, I got some fun and / random questions that I just made up at 2 a.m. So, the first one starting up, it might be difficult. Well, a couple of them might be difficult actually. It's going to get you guys thinking, so it's good warm-up questions.
Okay.
Who would you rather tour with? Can never tour with the other band. It can either be State Champs or The Story So Far.
I already know my pick.
I feel like I would want to tour with State Champs. They seem like nicer guys.
Instead of Falcon kicking people at the stage. For me, it'd be Story So Far, and just hands down.
That's a tough one. I feel like around here, State Champs brings bigger crowds because they're from New York. So I feel like it'd be a tough pick, but yeah. Also, people like to tell me that I kind of look like the singer, which I guess I sort of see, but not really. So I'm gonna cast my vote for State Champs, even though it's a tough one.
Okay, the next question I got for you: if you started another side project band, what genre would it be?
Definitely horror punk.
All right, yeah, that's fair. What would you say, Sugar?
Do you have one?
I don't. I actually don't.
I would say that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with I would want to do an emo kind of thing, I guess.
2002 emo or modern emo?
Modern emo, kind of like Basement and The World is a Beautiful Place, stuff like that.
I think for me, I would go, since I'm a little bit on a a heavy metal kind of side, I would go with probably some heavy stuff. I don't know what, but whatever takes me.
Some like maybe like heavier like type like a day remember like songs, just say like Wax and Larry or
I would yeah
like that type of stuff.
yeah I would say
okay.
yeah.
So what are some artists that inspired you that don't play pop punk?
Don't play pop punk. Well, well, obviously I'm a big horror punk guy. I used to listen to a lot of like Calabrese, the Misfits. I used to listen to the Foo Fighters and Nirvana a lot. And like the Beatles. They kind of helped me get into music. But also one of my big influences, I decided to pick up drums back in I believe 4th grade. My biggest influence at the time, believe it or not, was the Naked Brothers band.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. For me, it was that isn't really. I would say very slightly, Avenged Sevenfold, and then Beatles. I would say as well, and then that's pretty much it for me. Hollywood Undead. No.
We all said Beatles, but the Beatles are huge. Like I went through a big phase in like middle school where I would listen to nothing but the Beatles, and I would say because I'm a lefty and I play the bass, Paul McCartney was a huge like influence on me wanting to play the bass. And also there's this band from the 70s, they're called Yes. They have a bassist called Chris Squire who recently passed away actually, and I'm kind of sad about it. He's an incredible bass player, and I always wanted to be like him, kind of, because he's a good bass player.
It was actually pretty cool. I believe it was last show or like 2 shows ago I played. They have on Spotify now where they have the live recording from Nassau Coliseum from 1972. So it's pretty interesting to listen to.
It's cool.
Okay, if an artist was featured in one of your songs, who would it be? It could be a singer, it can be like a drummer, a guitarist.
I feel like you can't go wrong with Soupy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I could see Soupy.
Love to have Soupy from the Wonder Years feature on a song.
Either Soupy or Derek Whibley from Sum 41.
That'd be cool too.
He's got a cool voice.
Did you listen to the new song that just came out today?
Yes.
I listened to it last night. I can't really. I thought it was good, but I was like, it was different from currently. I listened to it recently. It wasn't like a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as I thought it was when I listened. I still thought it was a good song though. I liked Fake My Own Death better though.
Yeah,
personally.
it had like Brown sound just like going on.
Yeah,
yeah.
I surprisingly, Dan, huge Sum 41 fan, hasn't really listened to it yet. But I listened to it. I didn't really care for it that much compared to their other one.
I didn't have the time. I was busy rescuing a mouse we found at a party.
Yeah, we have a pet mouse now. His name's Iron Fist.
We saved him.
Oh, that's right. I saw that on Facebook. You posted the picture.
Yeah.
So what are you guys' favorite albums so far this year? Your top 3.
This year. I really liked Basement's Promise Everything. That came out in like January. I really liked that one.
Okay.
Let's see. Something just came out, and I've been listening to a lot, but I can't even remember what it was.
I don't know what mine is.
To think. Well, this isn't from this year. Like it's technically from like it was a year ago about that it came out. The Wonder Years' most recent album.
Oh, okay.
No Closer to Heaven. I like that a lot. What else just came out? Something just came out, and I have it in my car, but I can't remember what it is. While I think of that.
For me, this came out also about a year ago.
Oh, no.
Story So Far is self-titled, but I don't,
For me, I don't know, like, as like, I like the story so far and everything, but it just felt like What You Don't See Part 2 type deal.
Yeah.
Then, like, I listened to, like, Neck Deep's new album.
Oh yeah, I
Then,
forgot about that. I don't know why I forgot.
State Champ's newest album, Around the World at Back, and I'm just like, they did, like, a whole, like, change, and they just, like, improved off their sound, and, like, I just, like, listened to the story so far, I just felt like there was, like, no change or, like, experimentation except for, like,
That's
Phantom
fair.
on the album.
Yeah. I completely forgot about Neck Deep's new album. I really like that one, actually. That's the only album that got me into them. And then State Champs, believe it or not, I like their first album more than their second. I think it's I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
For
That's
me,
just
their
my
their
opinion.
first album had more good songs, but their second album, the songs that I really liked were like probably their best songs,
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So now let's just
Electro
start
Madonna.
talking about the EP now. First, Firstly, what inspired the name "Where the Sun Doesn't Touch," and what can you tell us about the symbolism in the album art? For the audience members that haven't seen it, it's pretty much a car parked sideways in a vacant parking lot after sunset.
Well, the album cover itself, it was taken in our hometown. It was basically just the Applebee's parking lot from like the hill, if you know where that is, around there. You know, the sun was like red, so it was like one of those days, and we just thought it looked cool, and we just had to get that picture.
Be generic.
Yeah, it was. You know, there isn't much symbolism behind that. The album.
How did you take the picture? Did you use a drone or?
There's like this hill that it overlooks the parking lot really well, and you can kind of see the mall in the distance. It was like the clouds were all like really cool looking, and I called to my mom and I was like, "Hey mom, can you drive me over to the hill so I can take a picture?" And she did. That's actually a picture I took with my phone, so it's pretty good quality for what it's worth.
Yeah.
The title "Where the Sun Doesn't Touch," it's actually a line from our song "I Hit a Car Wash Once and It Went Out of Business,"
True story.
and basically that line itself is supposed to kind of it's kind of referencing my comfort zone. It's basically like, you know, where you are to just kind of hide away from the rest of the world. You don't want to like deal with like the drama and everything that like everyone else deals with, but you know, it's where the sun doesn't touch, so it's not a very good place to be.
Mhm.
You know.
Okay. It reminds me of you ever see Benchwarmers as that one guy who's afraid of the sun?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, I
but-
forgot his name too.
Howie.
Oh, that's
Howie.
what it was.
Howie.
Classic.
So let's go ahead about the production of the EP. Sorry. Explain your experience producing this first release as a band.
Oh God.
Well, that was a lot of fun. We drove up to Purchase to where our friend goes to college. He basically just did it for free for us because it was just like a big project for him, which was great. So like we kind of benefited each other, and that was a lot of fun.
It was a long trip. We were actually planning on doing it for like 2 whole days, and that was it. And then we ended up going there like for a whole month, I would say, like spread out and all that. But it was still fun.
It was crazy though. Like,
quite an experience.
well, before that, we recorded a demo version of "I Hit a Car Wash Once and It Went Out of Business" with our friend Matt Perez.
Shout out.
Shout out to him. He's pretty cool. That was the first time that any of us released a song, like an original song, out into the world. And especially me, since I wrote that song, it was just wild because I wrote most of that song in the shower. And after we released that song, I've been told by many people that like people that I didn't even really know were singing that song in their showers.
Mhm.
So
It kind of comes full circle.
yeah.
So, when in the studio, what was the writing process for you guys like?
Well, I wrote half the songs. Nate wrote the other half.
Mine are
Okay.
My
Bas-
bass fills are the best part of the EP.
Basically, I would write a guitar part, and I just finish a song through there, and I would record a demo in my basement with whatever I had, and I'd add lyrics to that, and I'd send it to them for everyone to like learn it, drums and everything. And Nate would record acoustic songs, like acoustic demos, and I would just add like drums and lead parts and sometimes some
Yeah.
bass parts. Andrew would add some of his own bass fills every now and then.
Make him feel
So-
special.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, what type of equipment, programs, pedals, mics, all that fun stuff did you use?
Oh God, we need butters for that.
For recording, yeah, you'd have to talk to either Ryan or our Ryan is the guy who produced our album, by the way, or Brian. He knows all that. But live, I play through a Boss multi-effects unit, and
Whatever amp you can.
yeah, any amp I can find. I'm still shopping for an amp.
It's still like everyone's picking the orange brand amps.
Yeah.
Amps, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I really.
Literally, every concert I go to now, I just see those.
I won't.
That's
name
like the
it.
new thing.
I'm probably going with a Black Star.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your? Oh, I also play a Fender Telecaster with humbuckers. It's.
Mm.
You wanna?
I play a TC Electronic amp. It's 250 watts, I believe, which it doesn't really, it's not anything like overly special, but it has a good sound if I play around with it, and it's really light, so it's easy to carry. I play an Ernie Ball Stingray. It's lefty.
And I
I'm gonna probably be using that for a long time because I don't know, it's my child.
Put in a mantle,
Yeah.
like your like room or like fireplace if you have a fireplace.
Yeah,
And just stare at it all day.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the music video that you guys are making now. You're
Cool.
posting a little bit of videos on Facebook. So what is the creative process like, and what direction are you taking the video in?
Oh man. Well, basically, we all kind of agreed. Okay, we should definitely do a superhero type of deal, and my dad is like, he teaches actually video and film stuff at Sewanaka High School, so I kind of get from him like how to storyboard and filming like angles and editing and all that. So basically I would just think of like the plots and like different scenes we could do like through the day. Like sometimes I would write some stuff down, other times I would run it through them, or I'd just be like, we should have this. This is ridiculous. We should totally do this. We're gonna have some really.
It's like last
fun
minute
scenes.
like ideas that we just say whatever. Let's just do it.
It's like, what, this will
Who
work.
cares? It
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
It's been going pretty well so far, actually. So despite that, like we've been getting good shots. There's some things we've had to like improvise to work with, but overall it's coming out really well, and we're using a good camera.
Filmed at Kings Park recently, and
We're halfway there.
halfway there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to some song-specific stuff, starting with the song Blank Walls. One of the lyrics that caught my attention is, I don't care to the point I'm staring at blank walls. In the chorus, I believe. This line seems simple, but in reality it's not. There's like a lot of meaning behind it. So, what's your idea of it when you wrote?
Okay, since I wrote that one. Really, it was just like, I really had nothing to really just write. This kind of just really came to me randomly because I was just, usually when I'm at home, I'm just sitting, literally doing nothing, either playing games or watching TV, and it gets repetitive to the point where I was just, at this point, just basically looking at a blank wall, and I decided to just write that, and it's pretty much as it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Being bored.
Yeah, pretty much.
About
Bored out of
you.
your mind.
Okay, so let's move on to the next song, Everyone Hates Chris. I like the name because it always, like, I looked at it, it's like, oh, the show.
Actually, believe it or not, the name is actually Everybody Hates Dan, and the reason why I say Dan is because he's Dan, and it actually is a song about him.
Oh, okay.
I had a moment, I was really, really mad after what happened between us, and
Okay.
it just was one of those things where I had to have some, like, angst in there and just write it down and just, basically saying F you to him. So,
We fight all the time.
yeah.
It's actually funny. I remember when Dan found out that the song was about him. It was after we had already recorded it, and I'm pretty sure it was New Year's Eve, and Nate was just like, all right, since it's going to be a new year, I figure I should tell you this. This song is about you.
And he's like, I knew it was about
And
it. I
Dan
didn't know
was
how. And I explained it to him line by line. And he's like,
Like, I kind of figured, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Great.
yeah.
He wrote a mean song about me.
So you
It
look
was
for
really
the
funny,
look for the
actually.
future of a song written about me from Dan.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Nate.
It was just a series, just like, and like after like EP have like a song about him. And stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That'll be pretty like a funny like type series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's finish up with the song "My Dreams Are Still Dreams." There seemed to be a theme of being true to yourself, not being someone who you're not. How did this personally concern you? Like the backstory, pretty much.
Well, the song is basically about finally doing, the whole Shia LaBeouf thing. He's like, do it, just do it. Getting out of your comfort zone and just doing something, and no matter how hard it is. And it's basically about that, like doing that, except it doesn't really go well for you. So, you're stuck thinking, it's like, okay, I built up all this courage to do this one thing. Now it's what do I do now? And then, like, from there, life kind of just seems like it's going downhill. So it's really just like kind of just like a sad, everything sucks now. Wow,
Dan's a sad boy.
Yeah, I'm a sad boy.
Okay, so that's about it with the questions. Let's just finish off before you go in there with the acoustic set with two songs. How about you guys describe the backstory of those two songs? Give a little fun facts about it, maybe.
Well, one song we're going to play is called Suffocated, which is perfect for this time of year. School's coming back.
Suffocated with a K?
Yeah, if you see how it's spelled, it's like Suffolk, and then and I go to Suffolk Community College, and
so do I.
That's kind of about. It's not really anything against the school. It's more about going somewhere and not really knowing what you're doing. I wrote it at a time where I was so confused with everything. I didn't have any goals. I was kind of just like nothing was going for me. I hit a car wash once and it went out of business. That's basically just something about all the lyrics are stuff that people would tell me or I would tell myself growing up from from the end of high school to like now, and well, not now, but since I wrote it.
And that name was that
basically that name is inspired by the first mistake I made as an adult. I kind of drove through a car wash.
I don't know how he did it. It was great though when he told me. I was laughing, but I was also like, why?
Because like no one was there helping me, so I was like, okay, maybe if I drive through, it'll get their attention, and maybe it's like a self-serve. I don't go out much, so I don't really know. But and I hit something and I had to like pay for it, and I was like, great, this is my first mistake as an adult. I just turned 18. I'm graduating tomorrow. It's like
And then didn't you find out later? Like, was it months later?
They went out of business, but they're back in business, so
yeah,
that's good. So. Yeah.
So, before you go into the next room, how about you just say where people can find your music and social media?
You could like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Our EP is on Bandcamp for free, but if you want to support us, it's on iTunes. You could listen to it on Spotify.
Also, you could come to our shows, and we're selling them for $5, the physical copies.
Our show is September 3rd.
Yeah, our next show is September 3rd. We're playing at our friend Lewis's birthday party, which is at Shaker's Pub in Oakdale.
Okay.
You should come.
So
it'll be fun.
Some future goals for the band in, like, say, the next year or so?
Next few years, we would like to tour eventually.
Yeah. Who knows where we'll be in the next few years? Obviously, we want to be in bigger places, but touring is the main thing.
Release a new EP.
Yeah.
We're gonna start to work on an acoustic split EP with our friend before this summer. It was actually his birthday yesterday, so shout out to him.
Joe.
He's but yeah,
touring. That's pretty
touring,
much it.
yeah.
For now, like at least. See where it takes us.
That's also we want to make shirts.
Yeah, we're gonna have shirts for merch eventually.
Okay. Okay, so folks, just give us a minute. I'll probably play a song off the computer, and after that, actually no, I'll play some PSAs for you guys, and we should be set up by the time it's over. So stay tuned for the acoustic set by Suburban Zombie.
What
This next one is called I Hit a Car Wash Once and It Went Out of Business.
Wouldn't lie unless you want me to. I won't try until you do.